The quaint and quiet town of Lennon is safe, the epitome of family values. It was the reason Mary Preer moved here, but she was dead wrong.
But obviously somebody saw her as one that they wanted to facilitate the opportunity to go and snatch onto her, drag her out of the house, beat her, choke her, drag her, molest her, and then leave her for dead.
She's just a vulnerable person, and to have her treated like that, it's just awful.
Barbara Baker Omerod barely knew Mary, but was horrified by her 88-year-old neighbor's cold-blooded rape and murder. She raised $20,000 to solve the crime. 15 years later, it remains unsolved.
Well, it's really scary that they could still be around somewhere, that they could be doing this to other people.
For Genesee County Undersheriff Chris Swanson, the case is never far from his thoughts.
I've made a vow that before I leave, there will be vindication for Mary Preer.
The year was 1997. Mary, by most accounts, was an eccentric religious woman who lived alone and kept to herself.
And every day she would have the same routine over and over and over.
Swanson says her predictable schedule made Mary the perfect target. Investigators believe Mary knew her killer and welcomed him in sometime on February 26th.
Her first assault occurred probably about 50 feet from her front door, and on the back of her head there was a tremendous soft tissue injuries where somebody had actually taken her hair and bounced it off the ground.
That's not what killed her. Swanson says Mary was savagely beaten, raped, and then strangled.
How she made it from there to the back of the house is the gruesome part, because she was dragged by her left hand.
Mary's lifeless body was found here, half naked, her face covered. Investigators believe that's a sign the killer knew Mary and couldn't handle seeing her face during the attack.
I wish they would find who did it, because they got away with a perfect crime.
96-year-old Fran Pavlovich, Mary's sister and only living relative in Michigan, says the two were not close. She only has a few old photos of Mary. Nevertheless, Fran is haunted by her sister's gruesome murder.
I want to know who did it. I think that was cruel.
Swanson says over the years he's questioned several suspects, but nothing's panned out.
It's a very difficult case because the physical evidence that we had on scene was washed away by Mother Nature.
In the nearly 24 hours Mary's body laid unnoticed in the field, the weather changed considerably from freezing to snow to rain, destroying many of the clues. Still, some DNA evidence was collected, and Swanson believes someone knows something that will help the pieces of this puzzle fall into place.
I believe that people out there know some information, maybe if they don't even think it's relevant. We'll take anything.
As time passed, Barbara didn't feel right keeping the money she collected and donated it to Mary's church in hopes that one day a miracle will come to pass and Mary's killer will be brought to justice.
It's only fair when somebody's taking like that from a family and from a community like ours